So there I was, left with $43 to my name, and all I could think was, I've got to do something else. And I remember the last time I was really, really happy was when I was working in the tree care industry with my dad, which is the industry that I grew up in. But I also remember that I thought, well, even though that's the last time I was really happy, that I would never, ever, ever go back into the tree care industry because I didn't like the way my dad did it. And I knew something had to change. And the fact that that was the last time I was really happy was working in that industry with my dad and my brother, I knew that that was the direction that I needed to go. But the only problem was all I had was $43 to my name. So I did the only thing that came to mind, which was to get a business card and to try to start a business. But how does one start a business with just $43? And so I thought, well, if I'm gonna get a business card, I'm just gonna go to Kinko's, which it's now FedEx, but now, back then it was Kinko's. And so I walk into Kinko's and I tell the guy, yes, I'm starting a tree service. I got $43. And he looks at me and he goes, well, our smallest order is $88. And I'm thinking, this can't be real. I'm depressed. The last industry I was in, basically the business was going down and I don't even have enough money to buy business cards. Well, there must have been something in me because the guy goes, I tell you what, if you give me the $43, I'll go ahead and get started on your business cards. Just bring me the rest of the money by the end of the week. I said, good, no problem. So when I left the Kinko's, I just decided to take a drive because whenever I get frustrated or upset, I have a tendency to just go take a drive or take a walk. Well, this time I took a drive. And while driving down the street, I was thinking, well, you know, if I have no money, how am I going to start a business? And I thought, well, at least I'll get some equipment, some used equipment. And that used equipment that I wanted to start with was a truck. And I thought, well, I'll at least have to have it painted. And so I went to what I saw on the side of the road, which was a place that painted trucks. And I walked in and there was a Jamaican man behind the counter. And I tell him, I was like, listen, I want to get a truck painted and I want to know how much it would cost. Because in my mind, I'm thinking there's going to be some type of cost to getting this started. And at least if I can get it on paper, I can get it in my head and focus on how to get the money. And so he goes, okay, what kind of truck is it? I was like, well, it's a Ford and the bed is about 8 feet wide. It's about 14 feet long and the sides are about 4 feet high. And he goes, what's a little lady like you doing with a truck like that? And he said it in this thick Jamaican accent. And I said, well, I have a tree service. And he goes, you have a tree service? I was like, yeah. Now, keep in mind, I just started the business. I just given my last $43 away. And this guy says, do you have a tree service? I was like, yes, I do. And he goes, how much would you charge to cut those 3 trees down outside my building? Because I can't see my sign. People can't see my sign because of the trees. I gave him a price. And he looked at me, he goes, really? I was like, yeah. He goes, when can you do the job? I said, I tell you what, we're a little booked right now, but I believe I can get you on the job by Saturday. And that's exactly how I started my business.